Dear children, welcome to a new English class for Standard 5. Today I am taking the story The Magic Mirror. Are you ready to listen the class? Let us start. The Magic Mirror. The word magic means wonderful, exciting. Sometimes it has an element of supernatural thing. Here, the magic mirror is surely an extraordinary thing. Now, let us start the story. On a rainy afternoon, having nothing to do, Ammu and her brother were bored. So they sat looking out at the rain. To pass time, they decided to explore the attic of their home. The attic was dark and dusty. They came across a mirror which was surprisingly clean and shiny. Which time this story happened? Yeah, this story happened on a rainy afternoon. On a rainy afternoon. Who were the characters? Ammu and her brother Arun. They were siblings. They had nothing to do that afternoon, so they were bored. Are you bored when you have nothing to do? Are you bored? What are the things you like to do when you are bored? What are the things you like to do when you are bored? Here, these children, what they did when they were bored? They were looking out at the rain to pass their boredom. I would like to watch rain. Then what they do? Then what they do? That brother and sister decided to explore the attic of their room. That brother and sister decided to explore. Explore means to know more about. To know more about that attic. Attic is a space or room inside or partly inside the roof of a building, usually at the top part of the house. That space is rarely used, so that attic was filled with dust and dark. No light for that place. Surprisingly, they saw a mirror. It was clean and shiny. Why it was surprise? Why it was a surprise? Because that dark and dusty place, a mirror was very clean and shiny. Once again, I am reading the paragraph. On a rainy afternoon, having nothing to do, Ammu and her brother Arun were bored. So they sat looking out at the rain. To pass time, they decided to explore. They planned. Decided means they planned to explore the attic of their home. The attic was dark and dusty. They came across a mirror which was surprisingly clean and shiny. Surprisingly, they saw a mirror which was clean and shiny. Now, move on to the remaining section. While they looked at their reflection in it, the old grandfather clock in the attic struck 5. That is weird, Aaron said. I thought the clock was junk. They felt the mirror was calling them. Aaron stretched his hand towards the mirror. His hand went right through the mirror as if it were water. He withdrew his hand hastily. They looked at each other in amazement. Shall we step into the mirror? Aaron asked. Ammu nodded. 1, 2, 3. They stepped into the mirror. While they looked at their reflection in it, both of them looked their images or they saw their reflection in the mirror. What happened? The old grandfather clock in the attic struck 5. At that time, the old clock in the attic struck 5. That was weird, Arun said. I thought the cloak was junk. That was weird means supernatural or unearthly inhuman sounds. Both of them felt a supernatural element in it. I thought the clock was junk. Ammu thought that the clock was junk. Junk means old or useless. Even that clock was junk, old or useless clock. That clock struck 5. That was a weird thing. That was a supernatural thing. Both of them were surprised. They thought that something interesting in it. Then what happened? They felt the mirror was calling them. The mirror was calling them. They felt that the mirror was calling them. Arun stretched his hand towards the mirror. Arun extended his hand towards the mirror. His hand went right through the mirror. Then what happened? His hand went right through the mirror as if it were water. When you fall in a river, what happens like that? He went through the mirror like the water. He withdrew his hands hastily. Hastily means suddenly. He suddenly withdrew his hand. They looked at each other in amazement. They looked at each other in surprise. Shall we step into the mirror? Arun asked. Ammu nodded. Ammu agreed. 1, 2, 3. They stepped into the mirror. They suddenly go through the mirror. Suddenly, they found themselves in a forest. It was quite dark. The leaves of the trees overhead blocked the sunlight. It is just like in books where something magical happens, said Arun. It is so exciting. Suddenly, they found themselves in a forest. It was quite dark. The leaves of the trees overhead blocked the sunlight. It was just like in books where something magical happens, said Arun. It was so exciting. Quickly, they had known that they had reached a forest through that mirror. That forest was filled with darkness. The leaves of the forest blocked the sunlight. Aaron thought that it was a magical, as in magical books he had read. Then the next paragraph. They found their way out of the forest into fields of blue and red flowers. Butterflies were flitting from flower to flower. The fields were lit by the evening sun. Standing in the field was a white horse with silver wings. Wow, it was Pegasus, the winged horse, exclaimed Ammu. They walked towards it and Pegasus raised its head. Who are you? Asked Pegasus. Arun answered shyly, I am Arun and this is Ammu. Pegasus looked at them curiously. Where did you come from? Pegasus asked. We came through a magic mirror, said Ammu. Well, that would have been exciting, said Pegasus. It will soon be dark. I had better go home, said Pegasus. Can we come too? Asked the children. Of course, climb onto my back. Pegasus said. They scrambled onto Pegasus' back. They soared through the air and finally landed on soft, warm grass under a big tree. Then they came out from the forest and reached to a field of blue and red flowers. There they saw butterflies were flitting from flower to flower. That field was filled with the light of evening sun. They saw the mystical horse Pegasus. It was a white horse with silver wings. Ammu was so excited to see Pegasus. Both of them walked towards the Pegasus. Pegasus raised its head to see them. Pegasus asked them whom they were. Arun introduced both of them to Pegasus. Pegasus was so curious about them and again asked from where they came from. Ammu said that they had reached there through a magical mirror. Pegasus was so excited about this. Pegasus said that it was going to be dark. He had better go home. Children asked, can they came too with him? Of course. Climb onto my back, Pegasus answered to them. They scrambled. Scrambled means quickly climbed on the Pegasus' back. They soared, they flied and finally they reached a soft, warm grass under a tree. Then the next paragraph. They then flew through a forest, a field, and over a hill to a cottage. A man in a blue robe opened the door and asked them to follow him in. They followed him into a room where they saw a mirror. It looked exactly like the mirror in their attic. Step into the mirror and you will be home, said Pegasus. The children thanked Pegasus. They stepped into the mirror and found themselves back in the attic. Then they entered into a field through the forest and over a hill to a cottage. Then they at last they reached a cottage. There they saw a man with a blue robe. He opened the door and asked them to follow him. They followed him into a room where they saw a mirror. In that room they saw a mirror. It looked exactly like the mirror in their attic. Step into the mirror and you will be home, said Pegasus. Pegasus told them that step into that mirror and you will reach home. The children thanked Pegasus. They stepped into the mirror and found themselves back in the attic. Then they again reached in that attic. It was still raining. Aaron looked at Ammu and said, "That was the most exciting adventure we have ever had." "Yes, really," Ammu said. They heard their mother calling them. They got down from the attic and walked into the kitchen just in time for dinner. They told their mother about their adventure, but she did not believe it. When they went to bed, they dreamed of going through the mirror and having more exciting adventures. They again reached the attic. Their mother called them for dinner. They shared their experiences about their adventure to their mother, but she did not believe it. When they went to bed, they dreamed again to go through the mirror and having more exciting adventures like this. Do you like this story? Now you read the story 3 or 4 times. Now I am giving some new words meaning. The word magic means wonderful, exciting, supernatural. Attic, a space or room inside or partly inside the roof of a building. Junk, old and useless, weird, supernatural, unearthly. Hastily, great speed, quickly. Nodded, here the meaning is sign of agreement using head. Pegasus, a white horse with silver wings. The next, scrambled, make one's way quickly. Soared, fly or rise high in the air. Then cottage, a small house, typically one in the country. Now take the page number 18 from the text. Check how well you read. Arun and Ammu stepped into the magic mirror. Can you identify the places and things they saw? Write the names of places, beings, and things in the boxes given below in proper order and complete the flowchart. Can you do this activity? Now I am helping you to find the answers. Are you ready? Yeah, in the first box, attic is given. Next, which word come after attic? After attic, the word mirror. The word mirror will come after attic, then mirror. Then next they through the mirror they entered into the forest, then field, then they saw Pegasus, then they reached cottage, then again they saw mirror, then they finally reached again the attic. Now the second activity. Here are the events of the story, The Magic Mirror. They are given in jumbled order. Arrange them in proper order and narrate the story. The events of this story are not in correct order. Arrange these events in a proper order. This is the second activity. Can you do? These events are not in correct order. Then make them in correct order. First event is what? From these events, yeah, it was a rainy afternoon. Then the second event is what? Arun and Ammu decided to explore the attic. Then the third event is they saw a magic mirror. Then the fourth event is the grandfather clock struck 5. The grandfather clock struck 5. Then the fifth event, they entered the magic land. Then the seventh event is Pegasus took them for a flight. Then the seventh event, they reached a cottage in a forest. Then the eighth event, the children thanked Pegasus. Then the ninth event, they stepped through the magic mirror again. The 10th event is they found themselves back in the attic. This section is winding up. If you are watching my class first time, I already uploaded classes for the 5th standard English. I will give the link of that classes in description box. Please check that classes also. For more videos, please subscribe the channel. If you like this class, please like and show the classes. Give your feedback. Thank you for watching. Meet you in next class. Till then, take care. Bye bye. Love you all.